My relationship with my family, well, I could say mostly with my dad, was very bad. I wasn't allowed any freedom. I wasn't allowed to go out with any friends, to hang about with anyone non-Muslim. It was really quite a difficult childhood. I started using drugs around year 9, I would say. My dad had just found a job in Dubai, so he left, and it was only my mum left, and I took this opportunity, this advantage to start spreading my wings, and I started hanging out with a rough crew. We got into some bad situations, staying out late at night, partying, drinking alcohol, started taking weed to fit in with my group. The more I smoked, the more I felt like I was part of them.
The most common reason that, when we do an assessment on someone, we kind of say to them, what was the age you started and what was the reason? Many of them say it was with their friends. I mean, drug abuse is a very interesting way of terming it, because many of the young people we work with, they don't necessarily see that that what they're doing is abusive or problematic. So the most common factor that's reported to us is boredom.
In my case, it was to do with my family, my own personal vendetta against my dad and how restricted I'd been. But generally, it was just, I've noticed it's been peer pressure. Just seeing those different friends, oh, he's smoking weed, he's taking this. And sometimes people aren't just strong enough to just stop at that certain level. That's what happened to me. The more I got involved with my crew, the more I got involved with drugs, the worse it got, the more I needed. I started stealing from home, stealing from my mum's jewellery box, stealing from my brother and sister. From weed, I started rising up. Cocaine, heroin, any magic mushroom, LSD, anything I could get my hands on, just to feel that rush. And of course, my friends were all impressed with how far I'd been able to take this, which pushed me even further. My mum always tried to stop me, sometimes getting in my way. We'd get into physical fights. We'd shout at each other. I'd even hit her one time. Sometimes I'd leave the house on Friday, come back Monday morning. Wouldn't even know where I'd been, just being outside stoned, maybe spend my night on the streets. I was really losing control. I was quite a dangerous person.
Cocaine is a stimulant drug. If there was someone next to me on cocaine, they'd probably have wide eyes, maybe chewing the jaw depending on how they'd taken it. Very kind of energetic. Heroin is a depressant drug that commonly comes in powdered form. People describe kind of like a blanket surrounding them. You hear people talk about taking it and they feel that they're shrinking into the ground. This kind of sense of complete comfortableness that the world in no way can harm them.
When stealing from home wasn't enough, me and my crew started resorting to stealing from supermarkets and shops. One day we even decided to rob from one of those big supermarkets. I think it was Sainsbury's at the time. The plan was just to go in, grab the biggest thing we could find, and just run. I managed to get away, but 2 of my friends got caught, and I had to spend the night in a cell. After my friends got caught, and they wouldn't hang around with me, seeing that I'd started to even go past their level of craziness, I moved on to a gang, started hanging with them. If they were the only way I was going to get my new fix, and that was what I had to do. I was at home one day, just injecting my daily fix, and I fell unconscious. My little brother found me, called my mum called the hospital. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. The doctors are telling me that how I overdosed and that's why I'm knocked out, but they also have some even worse news, that I had HIV. It shocked me because I never thought anything like that could happen to me. I finally realised that either I stop now and start getting my life in control, or I was going to die.
Yeah, it's difficult. The difficulty is again in the word awareness. I mean, I would say that people are aware of facts, but I think people still do it because that awareness doesn't connect with their experience. Most people who experience drugs actually not necessarily have a good time, but they definitely don't have as extremely bad experiences as what kind of people are presented later on in life.
The news of me contracting HIV really shocked my whole family. Me and my mother had a serious talk about what I was going to do with my future and where I was going. We decided that I needed to join a rehabilitation centre so I could start getting my life in check and stop being so hung up on drugs.
The services that we provide is kind of initially to try and offer them individual sessions. With people that find that more difficult, we have a range of activities such as things like we're operating a run club, so people can start to get a bit more sporty and active. So fundamentally we're a treatment service, so the counselling kind of bit, but we try and think about creative ways of helping people to think about drugs.
It's been a year since I was on drugs, since I took anything. Next, hopefully by September, I should be starting college again, so I can retake my GCSEs, go on to taking my A-levels, and hopefully, finally go to university. I hope to become a youth worker in the future. I think I'll be quite a good one actually, since I know what they're going through, since I know what's going through their mind, and I'll be able to help and make a difference so that people don't end up like me. I really regret those 4 years that I wasted being with gangs, running around, thinking that I'm living the good life, and actually all I did was waste my life. Because of drugs, I messed up on my GCSEs, missed out on my chance to do my A-levels. I'd probably be in university now, and wonder what I'd be.